Hello family, this is Rob the Sapper gardener representing Essayons Family Garden, and today we're going to do a real quick video showing how we winterize our fig trees up here in our Zone 7A garden in Northern Virginia. And this is something, I forget where I first saw it at, but it definitely helps. One thing about figs is in colder climates, as you go up, they have less and less viability with the cold. Here in Virginia, our figs do survive, but if they're exposed to too much freezing temperature, they die back to the ground. The roots survive, but they have to start regrowing the plant each spring. So one of the things that we do to try to help prevent the plant from dying all the way back to the ground, having to start from scratch, which isn't, it isn't a death sentence, because they'll grow back up, the roots continue to grow. Each year the plant will grow a little bit larger, but it won't get as large as it does in some warmer climates. So we winterize ours almost a similar manner, the same way we winterize our outdoor faucets. When it gets cold, we wrap our plants in some burlap, and then we put a water resistant or waterproof cover, and it can be something as simple as a plastic bag, or depending on the size of your trees, it could be a foam covering. And they sell these here locally in our big box garden centers, and it's just foam. And the sole purpose of this or the plastic, which we can sit over small trash cans, or we can make a teepee using garden stakes and a tennis ball to keep the stake from tearing through the plastic. We can use those in We can use those in combination to help keep our plants partially insulated and as dry as possible. When it snows or it rains, if the water gets on the plants, it goes down the freezing, the ice damages the plants more, and we want to try to prevent that. So I've got 3 plants here on the deck that I'm going to re-winterize, because I actually took this off for the purpose of showing the video. I've got 3 plants over near the garage garden that I need to winterize, and I've got a few plants back in micro orchard 1 that I need to winterize. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap these up, let you guys see how I do one before I go and do the rest of them. And if you're in our zone 7A, especially in Northern Virginia, up into Maryland, like our friend Turf Therapy, this helps. It won't completely protect your plant. If you get a minus 20-degree day, the cold is going to affect the plant, but you want to give it as much protection as you can. So let me get these re-wrapped up. You'll see how they are, and then I'll do one maybe over in the garage garden area so you can see how they look. So first thing you want to do is you want to completely wrap the plant with the burlap. That gives it a little bit of insulation from the cold. Once you've done that, then you want to put your water barrier. And for these, I'm just using a small office trash can with a plastic bag over it. You can take the burlap, which we sometimes do if we use a different method that I'll show you, but that's a simple way to protect it from the cold and to protect it, let me get out of the way, from freezing moisture. So that's one method that we use for very small trees like we have here on the deck. So if you have a plant that's a little bit larger, and those little waste baskets won't fit, that's when we start using these styros. So this will cover something up to about 3 feet. We've got a smaller one. You can see, I should have put this on the table for comparison. We've got one that'll cover for about 2 feet. But once the plants start getting larger than that, then we start using a TP method. So this one is not large enough to really need it, but just for the video I'll show you, and then I'll put the styro back on there. So we'll still wrap it with the burlap. We'll take our plastic bag, we'll put it over the top. Try not to put too many holes in your plastic bag, and just depending on the size of the plant, you may need bigger plastic bags or you may need more than one. But again, this is just to keep as much freezing moisture off the plant as you can. And then what you'll do, you've got a little TP, and we just take a tennis ball, we cut a hole in it to put on the top of the TP, and that allows you to wrap your TP with plastic. So then you can take as much plastic as you can. You can use clear trash bags. You can buy painter's fabric. You'll wrap it around your TP like so, all the way down to the ground level. And for this, you will use tape. So when I do some of the trees in our micro orchard, I'll tape this down, and you got a moisture block for your larger fig trees. And the sole purpose of the tennis ball is when you put the top layer of plastic on, your garden stakes don't just tear through the top, especially when it starts to snow and you get some weight on there. So really simple system. This one is not high enough to need the TP. I just wanted to show you in a clear area. I'm going to put the styro back over this one, and then I'm going to go and do this method on our larger fig trees at Micro Orchard 2, and I'll gauge the size of the ones in the garage garden area. So I'll be back when I'm finished. So we've got 3 fig trees back in Micro Orchard 1, and using the method that I've described, all of them are doing gotta keep an eye on Sapper Putt Maggie. All of them are doing pretty well, and this is what I mean by each year. If you can see this one, let me flip you around. This is our largest one. That's about 4 feet tall now, but each year it gets bigger and bigger. And when we first had these, we were not winterizing. We just let nature take its course. Actually, the first year I thought it was dead. It died back to the ground. Next year it came up, and that's when I started reading a little bit more about winterizing and did some research. So each year we wrap it. It doesn't die back, and that way it doesn't have to regrow as much, and we get more fruit. So we have another one over by that cattle panel where our kiwi was on. It's actually, it looks like it may be bigger than this one now. And we've got one there in the middle. So I'm gonna winterize these 3, and then once I get them set up, I'll take a couple of stills, and you can see, but these are obviously too big to put a trash can over, or one of the styrofoam winterization pots or tops or whatever it's called. So these will just be wrapped in burlap and plastic, and we'll tie it up with some twine, and hopefully our luck continues. And this is actually what I mean about being careful with the temperatures, because these will still bud out if it gets warm. And you really, I don't know if it hurts the plants, but we're not trying to make them warm enough where they'll think it's spring, and then they start budding and growing, and then all that dies back. So let me get to work, let Maggie finish doing her business, walk around our property a little bit, see what needs to be done, and get these wrapped up. Alright, family and friends, we have got our trees winterized. This is the next day. We actually ran out of burlap, so I had to get some. We have burlap left over, but I've gotten so many extra fig trees this year that we were low. Apologies for the bright light. I'm out here in the dark under our spotlight on the deck. But this is how we do things. There are other ways that you can winterize your fig trees. In our grow zone, you can always take them into the house, into the garage, which is what we've done a few times with potted plants. Some people actually bury their fig trees. I've read that, which I thought was a little bit different. They dig a trench next to where the roots are, they lay the plants over, they cover them up with soil and mulch, which one thing I did mention, we do mulch around our fruit trees. We put in about a 2 to 3 inch layer of mulch at the base before we wrap them up with the burlap and the plastic or the styros. But yeah, figs are pretty hardy. Some varieties are hardier than others, but once the temperatures start going below 20 degrees Fahrenheit, you're just playing with fire if you want to keep your figs healthy and to get better production the following years. So I'm gonna rest up, go inside. Mrs. SG is actually getting dinner ready as I speak, so I'm gonna go in and warm up and hopefully get this video out to you guys. And if you do have any questions about overwintering figs, at least in our area that I can answer, drop them below in the comments, and I'll do my best. So I'm going to get inside and get warmed up. As always, this is Rob, the Sapper gardener, representing Essayons Family Garden, saying God bless our great country America, you, wherever you reside around the world, your garden, your harvest, your kitchen, your meals, and especially your family during these troubled times. Take care. Sapper out.